Okay, crew, here we go. And as per usual, my guest Jason and I have been talking for 45, 50 minutes, and then we thought we'd better actually record some of this information. Jason, we've had a chat to before, is one of the great success stories of the platform and of golf coaching. We were just talking about the life that he's built for himself, living in Winnipeg, which you would probably say is the last place you would think that you could grow a huge golf coaching business, but arguably, you are one of the most successful golf coaches in the world, I would say, in terms of
Thanks.
revenue at the moment, the profile you built for yourself. It's absolutely incredible. And 99% of it is digital. It's all online, which is incredible to see. So we cannot not chat to you and ask you how you've done it because everyone's going to want to know. But first of all, thanks for being here, mate.
Yeah, always great chatting with you.
Yeah, it's great. Last time we saw each other was in Dubai, so
Yeah,
for the
was a good time.
Pro Am, which was absolutely wild. So that's going to come up again next year. Hopefully, we can get you back. I've actually spoken to one of your students who's hoping that you'll take a group out there again this year. But mate, I don't know where to start with you. I've got 10 minutes with you, but like, do you want to just tell everyone really quickly in like 3 or 4 minutes, like what your world is today compared to what it was 5 years ago?
Yeah, man, 5 years ago. So I've been just after COVID started, or give or take a
Yeah.
couple years there. Yeah, to be honest with you, I was doing construction. Like I loved golf. I was a student in the game. Absolutely loved it. Well, I was not teaching golf 7 years ago,
Mm.
and then I got the just an amazing opportunity to learn from Shai Natravani. I know he's like was on the platform,
Yep.
sadly exited, but I learned from him. Just went into like, all right, here's all things golf, and I just went headfirst into it. Learned everything I possibly could. TPI certified, ground forces, like you name it. Some of the 3D motion capture stuff, sports box, everything I could get my hands on. I just basically just dove into it and went like, all right, how can I help other people? COVID
Mm.
hit, and it was like, all right, full stop. Can't teach in person. What do I do now? And then it was like, all right, we'll start doing it online. So I basically gave away free lessons at the beginning because I had to grow somewhere, and I
Yep.
did first responders, doctors, nurses, cops, firefighters, anybody military. Obviously, I'm ex-military. I was like, hey, can I give you a golf lesson? I want to help you out. This is what I can do for you. And so I grew from there because the hardest part is getting into the algorithm of is you do lessons, and then you have to get good lessons so people give you good ratings. And then from there, yeah, you
Yep.
just sort of grow. And then I got lots of students from there, and then I got my big break was definitely I got on the Cheese and Scratch podcast. So if you haven't heard of those guys, they're just two super funny guys. And one of them was like, "Hey, I'm getting some in-person coaches. I'm just not happy with it. Can you let me know how this online stuff works?" And I was like, "This is it. All right,
Yeah.
we're golden." And I was just all right. He started playing better. Obviously, people are like, "Oh, okay. Well, if this guy can get better doing online coaching, let me try it out." And then that was just it. Just went off from there.
Yeah, I mean, and that so there's a couple of things in there, a couple of threads I'd love to pull on. So initially, this is what's so hard about the online thing is that it's like just getting started is the hardest part. Getting started's the hardest part, as Aussies say, right? So it's like you've just got to do anything to like rub those sticks together and just get that little smoldering flame, right? And what you did, and I still remember it, like you were giving away a lot of the, those free lessons to, vets and stuff like that, and just anything to like build momentum, right? Build momentum, get people in the platform, get videos like being sent to me, get good at the process, like learn what am I going to do here to actually retain these students and then onboard them better. So just anything you can do at the start, because most people don't even get to that point, Jace, right? They literally open their account and they're like, all right, what do I do? And it's like, well, there's a lot you can do, right? There's so
Yeah. I mean, 100%. There's a coach in Winnipeg that I've helped out a little bit here, like trying to get him into the coaching. And he's like, "All right, so I started a Skillest profile. Like, what do I do now?" And I'm like, "You need to give lessons." He's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, but aren't people going to pay me for that?" I'm like, "No, no one knows who you are. I'm really sorry, but you need
Yeah.
to like either give your in-person lessons, like you need to get them to sign up to do them, like in
Yep.
between. And for a lot of you coaches out there trying to find ways, hey, sell online lesson to your in-person student. Like, and I
Yeah.
know that's where sort of going into the app, which is great. Like have them sign up, and because that is one person that has now taken a golf lesson from you, it's going to show up on the app and show up like, hey, you've done one lesson, you've done 10 lessons, you've done 100 lessons. Because that's when people go to like filter or find you, you need to have that. If you don't, they're
Yeah.
just going to scroll past you.
Most people don't trust anything online. Like I hate putting my credit card into Airbnb. Like all these things that we buy as necessities. You're like, oh, here you go. Well, so you can imagine like digital coaching, which is still nascent, right? We're still proving that this thing is like incredibly powerful. Most people are looking for excuses not to do stuff, right? So I do that all the time. Like, how many empty carts do you leave online? Like, oh, don't worry about it. I just won't do it. Right. So you've just got to do everything you can. You've got to create social proof. You've got to have ratings and reviews, like really cool public videos that you can put into your profile and that stuff that just make it just pulls back all of the, or reduces the friction and doubt for people. So yeah, so there's that. And then what did you say after that? Oh God, there was another thing that you said after the free lesson stuff. But what I did want to talk about, like, is your process, right? Because we haven't got much time. But your process has completely evolved over time, right? So probably at the very start, it was just like, send me your swings and I'll do a free analysis for you. And now you are in such high demand, and you've probably just nailed the onboarding process for students. Can you just tell everyone exactly what that sort of looks like? What from the moment that someone shows any interest, or even if you feel like you need to build a bit more momentum again, like, can you sort of discuss those things?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is for sure is removing that pressure of like not talking to somebody, right? And I would say, even though as busy as I am, I still have free chats. They're 15 minutes. People can sign up for them whenever they want. And the crazy thing is, I'm not saying that you should do this, but it's like I'm so busy that they sign up. It's like, oh, I can only talk to Jason like 3 weeks from now. And that
Yeah,
just shows you have worth, right? And this is like going to the business side of things. I don't do
yeah,
that on purpose anymore, but when I first did it, it was like, oh, I only open those up every Monday. And so it
yeah,
was like, oh, I can't get a free consultation until like the following Monday and the following Monday. Well, that just shows you're busy. And if you're
yeah,
busy, you're good, right? So find ways to do that, but you definitely should be chatting with these people, because once you get them in the door, it's like, hey, tell me how I can help you with your golf game. And golfers love to talk. The second that
yeah,
you get a golfer talking about their golf game, you just need to go, yeah, for sure. Hey, you slice it? I can help you not slice it. And they're like, okay, great. And you can do that in my backyard? Absolutely. Like, there's no stress, no worry. You don't have to drive, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to a driving range. You can do it in your backyard. Wow, that's amazing. All right, perfect. And then you just self from there, right? It's like, okay,
yeah,
here's your package. How much do you practice? Okay, if you only practice as much, I want you to grab 3 pack. If you practice a lot, perfect. Here's your opportunity. Online lessons is the best, because if you practice every day, you can send me a swing every day. And then
yeah,
from there, yeah, they get in, they send their initial lessons. The initial lesson is the big one, right? That's like the big meat and potatoes of like, all right, here's what's happening. Here's where we need to change it. And here's your root cause. Here's what we need to tackle. Then you give them that, give them your video back, you give them the drills that you want to work on. And then if they have that monthly subscription, it's like, all right, perfect. Here's the drill. Send me the drill back. And then
yeah,
from there, then it just becomes this ongoing process of like, nope, that drill's not doing it for you, or you need to do it more or slower, or remove the ball, motions, whatever it is, right? And then it's just this constant feedback that is basically what they're looking for in and I tell this all, it's like a personal coach. You
yeah.
don't have a personal coach when you go to like a club. You're just a number to that person. But
Mm,
like having me, you can talk to me every day.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
you don't get that from like a country club coach. Like they're almost like, I can't believe that guy, he's just here. Like I
yeah.
don't want to see him again for another like month or two.
Totally. They're the opposite. Like, if one of those coaches gets a text message from their student, they're like, "Oh, I'm not even going to answer it." Like, "Oh, look at that." I remember Piers Ward from Me and My Golf said to me one day, he's like, "Oh, the problem with this online stuff, it just where's the personal touch?" And I'm like, "This is way more personal than an in-person coach. Like, an in-person coach couldn't get more transactional. Like, here's an hour, I'll see you in a month, right? This is like,
Yeah.
I've got, a friend, and that's what." I use this quote all the time, but Alex Moore says, right? Alex Moore's like, "Babe, the way I look at it, I've got 75 really good friends. I just play golf a shitload better than they do," right? That's all it
Yeah.
is, right? So, and he just manages he mentors his students like that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's just wild. And the thing that's incredible, and I hope, I can edit this out if I need to, but like the numbers that you're doing are pretty frightening, right? So you've got to the point now where you don't need any in-person coaching. And if you want, if you know, if people want to come and see you, they can come and see you in your backyard because you've got like an indoor simulator you've now set up. But really, like you have to be making $500 an hour for your in-person coaching, right? For it to be even worth your time. But in that
Correct.
time, you also lose the opportunity of like onboarding a brand new student that could, end up, making you $20,000 over the next 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot where I'm at right now because it's like all things in life, it's time or time for money, right?
Yeah.
And so at this point, where I'm with Skillest, it's like I could raise my rights again if I wanted to. I feel like they're in a good spot. I've got about 100 to 105 subscribers right now, give or take. I don't want much more than that because I don't feel like I need to work anymore for what I make and how much I'm
Yeah.
clearing through, yearly. I'm quite comfortable. I would much rather take that time and build something else. So right now I've been starting to get into YouTube. It's like, and
Yeah.
through YouTube, if I keep growing in that, it's like, okay, well, I can get more reach from that. And then people will be willing to, like, I already had two people fly to Winnipeg, which you only want to come here in the summer. They flew here and we did a whole day right in my studio. And
Yeah.
those guys paid a lot of money for that, but it's like
Yeah.
that's such a cool experience. I can take that, make that content, put that on YouTube, and then just sort of keeps growing. For people who want to come see me.
So good. And that comes from, and this, I've now remembered the other thread I wanted to pull on. So the thing that, like you said, I got my big break, and it came from you doing your outbound stuff, right? And that's something you're good at, I think, right? Like you obviously create good content and you do it all from your backyard, which is really, really cool.
Yeah,
But the thing that you got your big break was with reaching out to people and getting in contact with these guys at Chasing Scratch. Like that is just something as golf pros we're not very good at, right? Most of us, and once again, I talk about this all the time. We're inbound, right? We're all inbound. We
yeah,
stand at our driving range or at our golf club. We have a captive audience. You don't need to do anything, right? Like, practice
correct.
say to me all the time, geez, I'm really busy in person. I'm like, of course you are. Like, everyone's busy in person because, it's golf's booming and like you work at a decent facility, right? But if you want to build something bigger than that and like what Jason has, which is, enormous, you've got to be outbound. So like, what would you suggest around that sort of stuff, or even like you probably what most people think in general across the world is that oh, I'm not going to message them, they're never going to see it, or they're never going to message me back, or they're never going to like do blah blah blah. You did that to one of the biggest podcasts in the world, really, isn't it? It's like one of the like biggest in the world, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of the biggest golf pack. I think they're like third or fourth. It varies a little bit, but yeah, I was just chatting with them one day, and he's like, "Man, I'd be interested in it." You know what I
yeah.
mean? I'm like, perfect. And the Saint Andre's group, I don't know if you know them on Instagram. So I just started teaching Hannah Ray, the girl that's in that group,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was the same thing. I just love their content. I reached out to her one day and I was like, hey, because I know they're in the Atlanta area, and I
yeah,
messaged her and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'd love to chat about your golf game. And she messaged me back. Some people don't. Like I messaged some other people on social medias, and yeah, they don't message back. But it's like, meh, doesn't
yeah.
doesn't hurt to ask, right? And
Never
she
heard
messaged
of
back, and she's like, yeah, for sure, I'd love to. I'm like, perfect. So I went in. I was in Atlanta. It's in person, but now it's like now I've got this relationship with her. And if it doesn't go anything more than that, it's not the end of the world. Also, I got a really good lesson that I'll probably put on YouTube too. But if it grows from there, just imagine it's like, okay, well, if I could start teaching her and she likes it, and then I start teaching Aaron, I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head, but all of a sudden it's like, well, now I'm in teaching them. And it's like, well, if they start talking about it, or if I get onto like one of their, videos or whatever, it's like, well, that just, again, just skyrockets me just because all I did is reached out to this person and said, hey, would you like a free golf lesson? And what
Yeah,
is it for me in my time? Like an hour of my time is like nothing for the return on investment that could possibly give me.
totally. That's what, yeah, your net worth is your network, isn't it? And when it comes to this sort of stuff, because the hardest thing is that no one knows who you are. Like you might be the most popular coach in your city. As soon as you go one city over, no one's heard of you, unless you're like Sean Foley, right? No one's heard of you.
Right. Yeah.
Like these local legends, as Karen Gray calls them, like don't want to be a local legend. You want global reach. And the only way you get that is by doing like very simple things like what you did, which is takes zero energy. Like, it literally takes zero energy to reach out to the most important people in the world because, they could be your exit out of, being a local legend and building something like what you've built. Mate, I know you've got to go and do an online lesson. So I won't keep you. If what would you say to people that are just, this is what I always ask, right? Is because, everyone just starts to get struggles to get moving, right? Once you push that boulder or you get your first 5 subscribers, you're generally away. But what would you say to anyone who's literally, even if they've been on the platform for a year and they're like, I'm using it for all my in-person students and they're loving it, but I haven't got any online students.
I would say, I mean, use social media to your advantage.
Yep.
Give out some free stuff on there and see if you can convert it, right? Hey,
Yep.
I'm going to give a single lesson away. I'm going to give a month lesson away, because if you're on there and you're always on there, well, that's going to keep building. And then people will see, oh, that guy's doing online lessons. Oh, maybe let me try it out. Right. And even if you give away one free lesson, but then 2 other people see it, well, you just made 2 lessons out of that one free lesson.
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere though.
Totally. Just like, even if the first 2 months are just giving stuff away and like building momentum, and then you end up living Jason's life, then all the better for you, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Mate, thank you so much. I'll be in contact with you around a number of different things very soon, but thanks so much for your time.
Hey, you're very welcome.